Hi betting experts, on Saturday the 11th of March we've got Wolverhampton on the all-weather and Sandown on really testing ground for ITV's 7 races on Saturday. We start off with our betting expert Nap in the 225 at Sandown. This is in the big race, the Betfair Imperial Cup, a premier handicap over 2 miles, and I think Playful Saint holds standout claims for Dan Skelton. Dan has been absolutely flying in the last couple of weeks, had 6 winners, lots of well-backed horses bolting up, they're all running to form, which is encouraging with the Cheltenham Festival round the corner. And this 8-year-old is going to make a lovely chaser in time, but he's been thriving in a handful of races over hurdles since going handicapping. He ran really well when second over this course and distance in December, and then cruised home at Leicester on really bad ground. Leicester is as bad as it gets. Well, certainly as bad as it gets in terms of second behind Sandown these days. It's like toaster up the straight on heavy ground. We've had a really wet week in Esher, and I think it's going to be all about stamina, which will suit Playful Saint. Some will want to oppose because the handicap has taken a real swipe after that Leicester rout, but I think he's thriving. There's more to come, and he'll go really well. Handling these conditions count a lot more than pounds and ounce in these sort of races. Our betting expert value angle selection runs in the 150 at Sandown. This is a novice handicap hurdle, another premier handicap over nearly 2 mile 4. And I like John Joe O'Neill's novice Krabilly here. Now, he was a good winner on testing ground earlier in the season, and he's run 2 blinders at Chepstow twice since under the penalty in races that are particularly strong form. I think he's on a reasonable handicap mark here. Now, going into this spear, the 3 furlong extra trip should definitely suit. He's going to be a lovely 3-mile chaser in time, I suspect. And I think he can improve past some of these more exposed rivals under John Joe O'Neill Jr. The remaining 5 races over to Wolverhampton on the all-weather. Small stakes for me at this time of the season. A handicap over 6 furlongs at 130. Soldier's Minute represents Keith Dalglish, who very sadly is retiring. He's my favourite trainer in the north on the flat. He's a brilliant placer of his horses, but he's turning it in, which shows how hard it must be to make it pay. This 8-year-old ran with credit in defeat on the all-weather for most of last year. I suspect he'll be primed for this prize under Kevin Stott, who's chasing the all-weather championship. Back to Wolverhampton for the 205. This is another Lincoln trial handicap over an extended mile. Well, Notre Belle Bete is certainly not straightforward, but no doubt he was an unlucky loser of a competitive Lingfield handicap last time out. Oisin Murphy takes over in the saddle, cheek pieces on. I think him replacing David Probert is a big plus, and he should go close with any luck in running for all of his quirks. Back to Wolver for the 240, a listed contest, the Wolfruna Stakes. Well, Berkshire Shadow has been impossible to place. Virtually the only horse Andrew Balding didn't manage to win with last summer on the turf, but ran okay on a few occasions, pitched in deep in group class. This represents a drop in class, and I suspect he might be the sort of horse who does really well on the all-weather. He's spent his whole life on the turf in really warm company, and perhaps the all-weather will reinvigorate his enthusiasm first time back. Back to Sandown for a bumper at 3 o'clock, a mare's listed contest over 2 miles. This will all be about stamina up the hill, and Don't You Want Me looked pretty impressive to me when winning in style at Huntingdon in January. Token selection in a non-betting race. Back to Sandown for the finale, the 335, a cracking novice handicap chase over 2 mile 4. Hudson de Grugy was a course winner on soft ground here over hurdles. He's run 4 times this winter for Gary Moore. I think he's been sort of running himself fit. His mark's been coming down a few times. I'm hoping for a much more attacking ride from the front from Jamie Moore here. He should be a big price and go well. Best of luck with all 7 ITV races on Saturday, betting experts.